Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another CSGO News episode. I hope you guys all enjoy, and I know I thank you guys way too much over the past few weeks, but especially over this past week, guys. We have now almost broke 6,000 subscribers. It's been amazing to see all the comments down below, as well as all of you guys watching the videos and seemingly enjoying them. So just a huge thanks to all of you guys who have been subbing to the channel, because it's been an absolute joy to run this thing. But also on top of that, updates on yesterday's story. We've actually had a CSGO video every single day this week, which of course I do love. Follow up on the Forsaken story, guys. Two things. First of which, his ban is now officially 5 years. That's just though from one person or one organization, that being the ESIC, the Esports Integrity Coalition. They've given him a 5-year ban for his cheating at the ESL India Premiership. That's not even talking about his recent cheating, of course, being caught on LAN at Extremes LAN 2018. So expect that ban, of course, to follow suit from Valve most likely. I don't know if his ban will probably double in terms, or if he'll just receive a separate ban from, of course, that being Extremes LAN 2018 events. But as of right now, he has a 5-year ban from all ESL events, as well as I'm sure Valve will follow suit. And on top of that, he of course talked about in an interview as well, he will not be continuing CSGO whatsoever, which is no surprise. So he has a 5-year ban, which does of course make a little bit of a talking point out there with the iBuyPower guys. If you guys do know their background story, which I'm sure many of you guys do, very many years ago now, it feels like, they actually threw matches for skins when a time when CSGO salaries just weren't where they are right now. They were not sustainable, and they got a lifetime permanent ban. And then we have this guy now being caught twice, at least twice, cheating on LAN events, and he's been given a 5-year ban. So it does make you debate some things out there, and we'll talk more about cheating and of course being banned in a future story of this episode as well. But just some crazy things happening in the CSGO scene right now. That's a follow-up story. And one last thing about this OpTic story, which I do want to apologize. This week's been all about OpTic India so far. We will be doing a recap video, a short recap video on this channel sometime, hopefully in the future. It's one last reminder for all of you guys. Nickel from CSGO to Asia clearly said on the CSGO India Facebook page that no one has the full truth yet. Once we know the full truth and have all the details, the beforehand as well as the aftermath, I will share those with all of you guys. But I cannot wait to have that recap video on this channel. But hope you guys all enjoy. Let's get into the actual CSGO news that we have missed this past week or so. And the first of which, obviously in the thumbnail, guys, Zeus's injury. For all of you guys who've been actually watching Epicenter as well as other tournaments out there, it was actually Zeus who turned up out of nowhere with a neck brace. I want you guys to know he is going to be okay. It was actually thanks to Fishy. He did confirm, guys, it's just a spinal disease. I'm going to try and pronounce this guy's spondyle. Yeah, I'm reading off how this actually is pronounced. Spondylolisthesis. And apparently, though, nonetheless, despite my horrible pronunciation, apparently it's not very serious. It sounds disgusting, where apparently one of those thingies can slip over the other. I don't know how to describe it, but it's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. For all of you guys who are worried about Zeus, more importantly, though, I don't want to sound too harsh saying more importantly, we of course have the open qualifiers for the European minor starting, and this is actually kind of a clarification as well. These are way preliminary matches for Katowice 2019 major, but they do matter. Actually, they're the open qualifiers, which qualify you for the closed qualifiers. The closed qualifiers qualify for the minor, then the major qualifier, then the major. So the teams who qualify for the closed qualifiers that we're going to talk about today, they still have a very long road to go. And also there are 4 open qualifiers for most of these regions as well, but the European ones do start first. It's actually Sprout and Fragsters taking your first 2 closed qualifier spots. Vitality was 2 wins away. Unfortunately enough, they actually fall short there. It was also kind of cool to see as well. LDLC, they qualified for their tournaments, but they actually fell short to Team Endpoint. So they're looking very good, although Endpoint didn't go on either. And alongside that, guys, team left out, of course, Kiyoshima, Scream, Michaelele, XMS, and Nuki, a team that actually held Vitality to a 16-14 game. They lost to Vitality. They were 3 wins away, technically. But again, there are 3 more open qualifiers, guys. I am sure the best teams will go through, but it was very kind of surprising to see Sprout and Fragsters grab your 2 closed qualifier spots, your first 2 closed qualifier spots for the European qualifier, guys. And here are your teams so far. But again, 3 qualifiers left. The North American qualifiers start here shortly as well, and we're going to finalize some of these teams who have to make it through this brutal system of all best of ones, where anything can happen. But again, that's what it takes to actually prove yourself as the best team nowadays, and Europe is going to be absolutely stacked this year when it comes to the minor. And speaking of qualifying teams out there, it's actually Swole Patrol who qualified for their first Premier tournament. Congrats to them. They went out very early though, but it was expected. They were heavy underdogs. They beat Virtus Pro in a best of 3 in 2 very close maps to actually qualify for the last spot at Epicenter. They went out last in their groups, but again, they were heavy underdogs. Still congrats though to Cooper and Freakazoid. If you guys do see the current group standings on screen, that will continue throughout out this weekend, guys, they do double elimination best of threes in their group stage. So, of course, that pretty much solidifies the best teams will go through. Double elims, best of threes, a great group format for only 8 teams there at Epicenter. And again, Virtus.pro do go out in the qualifying rounds to Swole Patrol. So their struggles, again, you got to question where this team is going, but we're going to question a lot of teams out there. Speaking of one other team you guys might be questioning, it's G2 and Ocelot, their owner, apparently a secret project going on. If you guys saw over the week, this past week as well, a few days ago, they posted this on the original G2 Twitter page, and it's apparently a project, a secret respawn project only for Ocelot's eyes. Does it have to do with CSGO? I think so, but again, we probably don't know. Maybe they're signing another roster out there in a different esport, but if it's CSGO related, maybe a team change is coming. But again, when it comes to G2, I keep on forgetting the rest of this roster besides Kenny S is signed until 2020. So okay, next story. And in huge news for all you French fans out there, of course, speaking of G2, I tweeted out a long time ago, LDLC is currently the best French team, and they're certainly in the running as of lately. Now, of course, despite the open qualifiers for the European minor, that's a best of 1 system. But in a best of 3 system, guys, the IM Chicago qualifier, that for the last spot at this tournament, it was a tournament run by GG.bet. They actually took that last spot away from another team. That was a debatable issue. I'm not going to talk about that. They took a North American spot, and they made it actually into a tournament hosted by GG.bet. It seems suspicious, but no one ever really talked about that. Either way, though, it was LDLC surprising everyone. You look at the field, guys, Space Soldiers, Virtus.pro, Heroic, G2, OpTic, some very, very good teams competing for the last spot at IEM Chicago, which happens in November, and it's going to be the best premier tournament besides the major that we've probably seen all year long. It is absolutely stacked, and the team grabbing the last spot there will be LDLC against all odds. It was actually Space Soldiers and Virtus.pro going out in groups. Space Soldiers just left their organization, or they're seemingly going to sometime soon. We all know Virtus.pro, and again, struggles continue there, but very surprisingly enough, it was LDLC themselves in a best of 3 beating G2. They also beat Heroic, and they also beat OpTic, and I believe they actually swept G2 as well to take that last spot. So that's why I made that tweet. LDLC currently right now in terms of qualifications in the past 3 to 4 months, obviously Vitality newer than that, they've actually done on par to what G2 has pretty much done, and in terms of teams they beat so far, this is definitely a very, very good looking team, as LDLC has taken out the French former super team G2 as well as Heroic and OpTic and grab that last spot. Now, will they do well at IEM Chicago? I don't know. The tournament's absolutely loaded, but nonetheless, guys, those were some crazy results, and LDLC might be the best French team right now. And very last in today's episode of CSGO News, I'm really hoping that tomorrow we have another episode, because that might be the first time ever since I started my own CSGO channel that we can actually have 5 straight CSGO videos in 5 straight days. But hopefully that does happen, guys. Nonetheless, though, our last story is one I've been waiting to talk about for so long. You saw it in the thumbnail. That is, of course, Ghost Gaming, led by Steel. Of course, their IGL took over, I guess you could say many months ago now, and has led this team to astoundingly amazing success. If you guys know, this weekend they're actually going to try and qualify for the Canadian team spot for WESG. That's almost $1 million prize pool tournament. I'm crossing my fingers because there's 4 teams competing there, and they should be the favorite. So Ghost Gaming should be qualifying for that large tournament. So congrats to Steel. He can actually play there. Alongside that, though, they are now going to go to EPL finals for the first time ever. And it's crazy to see the time it takes for a team to actually succeed like this, and it really makes you respect Ghost Gaming's, I guess, their past as well as their grind to build to where they are. Wardell is currently the only member existing from the last 2 years or so. If you guys go back to season 6 of ESL Pro League, just listen to this, guys. Season 6, they go 4-22. They're almost relegated. That's when Wardell is on the team. Then you go to season 7, guys. They go 7-15. At this point in time, it's Wardell and Sabrosa, and now we reach season 8, guys. Nearly a year and a half later, a short amount of time, but still, of course, now you have addition of Kusta. You have their newest member, Neptune, being the 15/16-year-old star, and of course, Steel leading this team. I believe a lot of us agree to where they are. Season 8, 13-3. They qualify for their first ever EPL finals. Just listen to that climb. It's just amazing to see as well. 4-22, 7-15, now 13-3, and one of the better teams in North America. It's amazing to see that, and just reading it off as well, it makes me it feels so, I don't know, satisfactory, as if I'm a fan of theirs, and it's almost as if I actually achieved it with them. Congratulations to Ghost Gaming, guys. They qualify for EPL finals for the first time ever. Alongside that, though, we'll probably break down, maybe tomorrow, if there's a lack of news out there, we're going to break down current EPL as well as ECS standings, guys, and by EPL, ESL Pro League standings, because there are some big shockers right now in the EPL and ECS standings. Astralis is definitely not one of the shocks out there, but some big teams out there are currently struggling to make the ECS and EPL finals. But as always, I hope you guys all enjoyed. enjoy. My name is Jake. Thank you all for watching this episode of CSGO News. I will see you all back here later today if you want to stop by for League of Legends news or also Blackout news. But as always, I'll see you all then, guys. I can't see you.